Winter dressing can feel like a chore. It's freezing cold, it's sunny for like 2 hours a day, and sometimes you resort to wearing the same thing over and over again just because you know you're gonna stay warm in it. But with these 5 rules, you'll be able to show off your style and feel put together even when it's freezing. It's about styling what you own in a way that shows off your personal style and keeps you warm. These rules are about changing the way that you style your winter clothes. The rules we're going to be covering today are dress for the weather, using your winter accessories thoughtfully, accessorizing your outerwear, incorporating your summer pieces, and changing the way you get dressed. So let's get started with rule number 1, dress for the weather. This may seem like an obvious one, but I think for me at least, I definitely used to be the type of person who would dress for style over function, and it always was a mistake because there's nothing worse than feeling cold, you don't feel confident, maybe you wore flats and it's wet outside and now your feet are soaking. It's just a bad time. The main takeaway from this rule is like choosing functional pieces that fit with your personal style. I think for me, a long time I would just get whatever. I would try and find like the cheapest deal on a winter boot, and that's my winter boot. As I've gotten older and more in tune with my personal style, instead of just buying whatever, I'm willing to wait to find the right piece that's functional. If I'm gonna be wearing winter boots for 3 months straight, I wanna make sure I love this pair of winter boots and it works with my style, because once you get to your destination, like you're taking your coat off, and I personally want my winter boots to feel like they work with my outfit. And I think that's something that people may think is silly, but I think it's part of the intentionality that makes people who look put together look more put together, because they're putting thought into every detail of their outfit, and that includes the functional pieces like your winter accessories, your winter boots, your hats, your gloves, your coats. Like all that stuff is really intentional. And so I think dressing for the weather is really important, but I also think that choosing the functional pieces to align with your personal style is going to make a big difference in your winter wardrobe. Rule number 2 is use your winter accessories thoughtfully. Part of this rule is sort of an extension of rule 1 in terms of when you're purchasing these winter accessories to be really intentional about it and choose pieces that are in line with your style. Like for me, I would just buy a pair of leather gloves, buy them in black. That's the most functional color, and it didn't feel like me. I felt like a different person when I was wearing like my coat and my gloves and my hat. And now I'm being a lot more thoughtful about what I'm buying, even if it's like not the easiest thing to find. Like I was on the hunt for one of those knit hoods last year and it was like impossible to find. And then I finally found one that actually worked within my personal style. And I actually felt good when I was out, and I was warm, and my outfit felt more like me with this piece that I was super intentional about purchasing. And then the second part of the rule is to use your intentional accessories in interesting combinations and with different textures to create dimension within your winter outfits. So when you're out and about and you're wearing a coat and a scarf and a hat and gloves, how do all those pieces interact with one another? Is it like a primary color scheme? Do you have like different textures? Like the gloves are leather and the scarf is like a cushy knit and the hat is like a sleek cotton. How do all your accessories work together to add to your outfit and show off your personal style? For example, for me, I like to use my beanies as a pop of color. I also have this big statement scarf that I like to wear if I want to like really be playful in my outfit. It's this like big purple blanket scarf, and it really just feels like goofy and playful in the best way, and it's super, super warm. Rule number 3 is to accessorize your outerwear, and there's a lot of different ways to do this. One thing that I think is really fun that a lot of fashion brands are doing is they have these scarf coat combos. So your scarf coat together feels very intentional, and that feels like you're styling your outerwear in an intentional way. Another way to do this can be layering things over your outerwear. Like I know Dahana, she'll do like a sweater vest over her coat, which I think is really interesting. Or you can do just like a regular vest as well, which can add like texture and dimension in an unexpected way. Another way that I like to accessorize my outerwear is with pins and brooches. I have this brooch that I just keep on one of my like more basic wool coats, and I feel like it just adds a little bit of personality and texture and dimension to this big solid piece that is my coat. This is a really easy way to make your outerwear feel like you. When you're out and about and you have your coat on, like that is basically the outfit. So being able to style it in a way that feels more in line with your personal style can be a great way to make you feel better and more put together within your outfits. And I feel like it's little styling changes like that that make an outfit feel really put together. Rule number 4 is don't abandon your summer pieces, layer them. This is something that I learned a little bit more this year. I'm very like summer clothes away when it's not summer, but I kept a couple of pieces out this fall and winter, and I definitely have a lot more intention to style them with my fall and winter pieces. I think it creates more possibilities and it gives you more pieces in your wardrobe that you would otherwise be storing away. So what I like to do is obviously you can layer over dresses, pants, whatnot, and style them with like sweaters as opposed to t-shirts and make them feel more fall in that way, but also layering things underneath skirts and dresses and pants like a thermal legging or a pair of tights or something can also help them to fit in more with your winter wardrobe and make them more functional for cooler weather. And what's cool about summer pieces is the results can be really unexpected. Like I had a pair of pants that I really loved from summer and I was like, these are really lightweight. I'm never gonna wear these in the fall and winter. But during my November style challenge, I challenged myself to style a summer piece in a fall way, and it really opened my eyes to what the possibilities were with these pants. They felt like they could easily be incorporated within my fall and winter wardrobe. In fall, I would style them with more warmer tops like sweaters and jackets and stuff like that. And then in true winter, maybe layering a legging underneath and wearing them with my Frye boots. And then that way my legs will be nice and warm, and then styling them with sweaters and other long sleeve pieces to really make them ready for winter. And basically it gives me like another piece, another silhouette, another color of bottoms to work with in my fall and winter wardrobe that I otherwise wouldn't if that piece was stored away. So how do you know if your summer pieces are functional for the fall and winter? I would just say play in your wardrobe. See if you can style it with your fall and winter pieces. And if there's combinations that you feel strongly about, then work backwards and see what underlayers and layering techniques you can use to feel warm enough to wear them out in the cold weather. And finally, we have rule number 5, which is change your get ready routine. And I know for me, when I'm wearing the same like couple of coats and the same sort of warm sweaters, I start to feel like a little bit bored within my wardrobe because I'm wearing the same thing over and over again. And so to combat that and avoid spending and buying more items, I will get dressed from a different perspective. And what that means is I'll start with a different piece. Like when I'm getting dressed normally, I'm either starting with a top or bottom. That's my go-to. That's my default. So when I'm getting bored with my wardrobe, instead of starting with a top or a bottom, I'll start with my coat. Which coat do I want to wear? And then what outfit do I want to create to go with that coat? Or I'll start with my shoes, my boots specifically for winter, and see what outfits that I want to make with these shoes. And it just rewires your thought process because you're starting with a different piece and you're focused on different needs. Like when I start with my coat, I'm like, okay, if this is the coat I'm wearing, and then what winter accessories am I wearing? And then once I know what winter accessories I'm wearing, then I start on like the base outfit. Okay, what colors will work with the winter accessories and coat that I've already chosen? And I'll create my outfit that way. And now if I'm starting with my boots, the next piece that I'm looking at are my pants. How are my boots and my pants interacting? What do those colors look like together? And then once I have those two pieces, that's when I start looking at what the top is going to be. So it really just changes the way that I'm putting together an outfit, and it can really spark some new inspiration and create whole new outfits in your wardrobe. When you get dressed, which item of clothing do you usually start with? And how would you switch it up if you wanted to try and get dressed from a different perspective? So just to recap, the rules we covered today were dress for the weather, use your winter accessories thoughtfully, accessorize your outerwear, don't abandon summer pieces, layer them, and change your getting dressed routine. Getting dressed should feel fun and a way for you to show off your personality, even when it's freezing. Which rule resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And let me know if you'd want me to do a deeper dive on any of these 5 rules for a future video. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know to make more like this. I love making videos all about personal style and making the most out of your wardrobe, so if you don't want to miss anything from me, make sure to subscribe. It really helps my channel. If you enjoyed this, you might enjoy my video where I talk about how I created my personal color palette, how I use it within my wardrobe, and how it could help you. So I will leave that linked here and see you in the next one. Bye!